Hi, I'm Ron Ringer, keeper here at the San Diego Zoo. You know, sometimes keepers get to take part in animal procedures that most zoo visitors would love to be involved in. I had such an opportunity back in 1992 with the zoo's first black rhino calf, Ricky. Now, Ricky was nothing more than a little scrawny thing, and his back legs were so shaky you would think we were having an earthquake. He looked so helpless, about all he was capable of doing was nursing off of his mom. When he was about 2 days old, the vets had some concerns about his umbilical cord. Ricky was born outside on the dirt, and there was a chance that his umbilical cord could get infected. We decided to catch him up and treat his umbilical cord, and at the same time we'd get some weights on him and we'd give him some antibiotics, and then we'd quickly return him to his mom. We had hoped that as long as Ricky didn't cry out, his mom would stay relatively calm in the next room. Now, I volunteered to catch Ricky and weigh him, thinking it would be a piece of cake. After all, I'd picked up lots of zoo animal babies, and in fact, I've even picked up giraffe calves that weighed upwards of 140 pounds. So I figured this little guy who weighed much less would be no problem. We separated his mom from Ricky, and the veterinarian and I gowned up, and we got down on our hands and knees, and we entered Ricky's stall so we wouldn't scare him too much. He snorted a little bit, but he came right over to investigate us. He even let the veterinarian treat his umbilical cord, but it was great because when she pulled out her stethoscope, he backed up 3 or 4 steps, snorted, and charged. It seemed like he was basically saying, "Hey lady, you can treat my belly button, but keep that shiny thing away from me, I'll take you out." We were all laughing at this baby rhino who had a definite attitude. Now it was my turn to weigh him. And I got to tell you, I'm from the Midwest, and occasionally we have tornadoes, and the tornado sirens go off, and they're very loud. But when I grabbed Ricky and picked him up, he let out a scream that basically made those sirens seem like a whisper. The fact that I was almost entirely deaf in one ear was pale in comparison to the thrashing this little guy was giving me. He was throwing his head all around, and it was basically all I could do to just hang on to him and step up on the scale. Now, we quickly got a weight and we gave him his shots, and as soon as I set him back down in the stall, he decided to take his revenge out on me. He backed up again and started snorting and charging, and he was coming after me like he was going to take my kneecaps out. To say his mom was a bit ticked off by all the commotion was a mild understatement. You see, she was literally climbing the walls in the next room, and so we needed to get her and her son back together. Now, after the procedure, Ricky came in at a healthy 68 pounds, and everything was wonderful. And I got to tell you, I have the aches and pains of wrestling him to prove it. Now, even though Ricky had seemed so helpless, he could still protect himself. We speculated that after all of this, I'm sure he told his mom how he pushed us around and was in charge of the whole thing. You know, I have a whole new respect for these so-called baby rhinos, and I got to tell you, I feel really lucky that I was involved with the San Diego Zoo's first ever rhino birth.